Today our topic is the role of suffering in human growth. Suffering is something everyone experiences at some point in life. It can feel heavy, painful, and unfair, but it also has the power to shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate people. Think about it. When things are easy, we rarely change. We stay comfortable, and comfort doesn't push us to grow. But when we face challenges, when we suffer, we are forced to adapt, to learn, and to find new ways to move forward. This is why suffering, as hard as it is, plays a key role in our growth as human beings. Let's start by understanding what suffering really is. Suffering is not just physical pain, like an injury or illness. It can also be emotional pain, like losing someone you love, failing at something important, or feeling lost in life. It can even be mental pain, like battling anxiety or depression. No matter what form it takes, suffering is a universal experience. No one escapes it. But here is the important part. Suffering is not just a problem to avoid. It's also a teacher. When we suffer, we are given an opportunity to learn about ourselves and the world around us. One of the most important lessons suffering teaches us is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after something difficult happens. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind blows hard, and the tree bends, but it doesn't break. Why? Because it has strong roots. In the same way, when we face suffering, we have to dig deep and find our own roots, our inner strength. This strength might come from our values, our faith, or the support of loved ones. Whatever it is, suffering helps us discover it. And once we find it, we become stronger. We learn that we can survive hard times, and that knowledge stays with us forever. Another lesson suffering teaches us is empathy. When we go through difficult experiences, we develop a deeper understanding of what others might be feeling. For example, if you've ever lost a loved one, you know how much it hurts. So when someone else loses someone, you can relate to their pain. This makes you more compassionate, more willing to help others. Suffering, in this way, connects us to each other. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. Everyone suffers, and because of that, we can support each other. Suffering also helps us prioritize what really matters in life. When everything is going well, it's easy to get caught up in small things like chasing money, status, or material possessions. But when we suffer, we are forced to stop and think about what's truly important. Is it money? Or is it love, health, and relationships? Many people who have faced serious illness or loss say that suffering taught them to appreciate the simple things in life, like spending time with family or enjoying a beautiful sunset. In this way, suffering can be a wake-up call, reminding us to focus on what really matters. Now, let's talk about Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has a lot to say about suffering. Stoics believed that suffering is not something to be avoided, but something to be accepted. They taught that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. For example, if you lose your job, you can't change the fact that it happened, but you can choose how you react. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can see it as an opportunity to find a new path. The key idea here is that suffering is not about what happens to us, but about how we think about what happens. This is a powerful mindset because it puts us in control. We can't stop suffering, but we can decide how much power it has over us. Another important idea from Stoicism is the concept of amor fati, which means love of fate. This means accepting everything that happens, even the bad things, as part of life. Instead of fighting against suffering, we can embrace it as a necessary part of our journey. This doesn't mean we have to enjoy suffering, but we can see it as something that helps us grow. Think of it like exercise. Lifting weights is hard, but it makes you stronger. In the same way, suffering is hard, but it makes you wiser and more resilient. Of course, this doesn't mean suffering is easy. It's not. It's painful, and it's okay to feel that pain. But what's important is what we do with that pain. Do we let it destroy us, or do we use it as fuel to grow? The choice is ours. One way to deal with suffering is to find meaning in it. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived the Holocaust, wrote about this in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. He said that even in the most horrible situations, people can find meaning. For example, a person might suffer to protect their family, or to achieve a goal, or to help others. When we find meaning in our suffering, it becomes easier to bear. It gives us a reason to keep going, even when things are hard. Another way to deal with suffering is to focus on what we can control. As we mentioned earlier, Stoicism teaches us that we can't control everything, but we can control our thoughts and actions. For example, if you're going through a breakup, you can't control how the other person feels, but you can control how you take care of yourself. You can focus on your health, your hobbies, and your friendships. By focusing on what you can control, you take back some of your power. You remind yourself that even in difficult times you have choices. It's also important to remember that suffering is temporary. No matter how bad things feel, they will not last forever. Life is always changing, and hard times will eventually pass. This doesn't mean we should ignore our pain or pretend everything is fine. It just means we should keep hope alive. Hope is a powerful tool. It reminds us that better days are ahead and that we have the strength to get through whatever we're facing. Finally, let's talk about how suffering can lead to growth. When we suffer, we are pushed out of our comfort zone. We have to think differently, act differently, and see the world differently. This can lead to new opportunities and new ways of living. For example, someone who loses their job might discover a new career they love. Or someone who goes through a painful breakup might learn more about themselves and what they want in a relationship. Suffering forces us to adapt, and in doing so, it opens new doors. In conclusion, suffering is a natural part of life. It's hard, it's painful, and it's something we all face. But it's also a powerful teacher. It teaches us resilience, empathy, and what really matters in life. It reminds us that we are stronger than we think, and that we can find meaning even in the darkest times. By accepting suffering and learning from it, we can grow into wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient people. So the next time you face a challenge, remember, it's not just a problem to solve. It's also an opportunity to grow. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it make you stronger.